Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Soul Man Surgery this morning. This morning we have got my lovely friend James Hughes, who is life coach, inspiring man, hairdresser, entrepreneur, many things. And he is here today to talk all about life coaching, about how you can, now I've lost my notes, so I can't remember what we're talking about, but it's all about what you think creates your reality. Now, I can see James laughing there backstage, so I'm just going to pull him right up.
That was a great start. It went so well. You called me an entrepreneur, and then you forgot what I'm talking about. Thanks for that.
Did I call you an entrepreneur?
I think that's going to set precedent for this morning, Stephen. How are you?
So, James.
Stephen.
I'm just trying to set up this side. There we are. That's cool.
So yes, we're going to talk today about the relationship with thought.
Yeah, so the relationship with thought, what is it all about? So just out of curiosity, because some people might be watching thinking, what are they talking about? The relationship with thought, what does that mean?
I think this is fundamental, Stephen, what changes everything in my eyes. And it's the thing that changed everything for me. I've always been into spiritualism. I've always been into life coaching. I've always been into how the psyche works and how you can change your mind through a vibrational field of energy, through your thought, all of these things, but never really understood what that meant. There was an inner knowing in some way in me that when I look back now, probably from I was really young, I kind of knew that I was different. You said this to me a couple of weeks ago. I never truly understood what that meant, and I always think that to be different is to be bad, and it's not. To be different is flying to the sound of your inner knowing. It's changing that setup that you've been told should be how you should live your life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think the first week we came on, I spoke a lot about my past experience and my anxiety and where I decided that I needed help and I needed to change my life. I ran my own business for 10 years. I had my own salon. It was probably the most stressful time in my life towards the end of it. And I can't, blame anybody for that, because it spiraled for me. Everything became overwhelming. And what really just became overwhelming was my thinking of the situation, because I started to tell myself that I didn't want to do this. I didn't love this. People were causing me stress. I couldn't deal with the financial problems. Everything was just overbearing. But it wasn't the situation that was overbearing, because I'd managed it for 10 years. It was my thinking of the situation that became overbearing. And I lay in bed one night and I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was having a stroke. At that point I was maybe 33. I thought I was having angina because I had past experience that my gran in her late 70s had angina. So I was like, I must be having an angina attack. I was convinced for 2 years that I had cancer. And that on a daily basis to walk around, that adds and amplifies that stress. But it was a coping mechanism, because it was an escapism. If I thought that my health was deteriorating, then I could blame my health for everything else that was happening in my life. And let me ask you this question then. What if the only thing that was wrong with you was that you thought something was wrong with you? Let that sink in for a wee second.
Right.
So where that came true for me was when I was having this anxiety, this angina, this heart attack, the cancer, everything. I went to my doctor, who's a family doctor, lovely, lovely man, and I've been very fortunate. I think nowadays you don't get a lot of family doctors anymore, but Dr. McPherson's a lovely guy, and he said to me, James, the only thing that's wrong with you is in here. And I never understood it. I never truly understood it until a few years later, and then I started delving deeper into all of this, and I realised that the only thing that's wrong with me is that I think that there's something wrong with me. Now, that's obviously not to say that, we don't know what the future lies. Our health is vitally important, and you can't distinguish the fact that, is this a thought or am I actually unwell? Because if you're unwell, you pretty much know you're unwell. But if you're having things that are generalized anxiety disorders. Now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist in that way that I can diagnose these things. But I think the important thing is that we can diagnose these things.
Yeah.
We can sit in that space that, rather than this head space, this thought space, that we're getting lost in, and we're amplifying the situation. We're layering on top of layering all of these pains, disorders, fears, worries, all of that. And then that's now what I would call the generalized anxiety disorder for me. Of course, if you look it up in any of the medical dictionaries, there's going to be a very, very medical-based reasoning for it. But generalized anxiety disorder is taking every single thought that you can imagine of fear-based and layering it on top of you, and then going, let me shovel through all this shite. It's like shite creates shite. Actually, that's a very Glasgow term, but shite creates shite. And all of that shite is really just your thinking versus your living. Is your thinking reflective of your living? Is this shite creating more shite? Or is this just thinking and this is your living? I hope that doesn't offend them, because I'm quite a realist when it comes to talking, because it has to come from my experience. And I don't want to be somebody that baffles people. But there's a lot of poignant moments in my life where I've went, I forgot a cup of tea this morning, Stephen. Damn.
Oh, did you?
That's because I changed my environment for you this morning.
Well, you're not getting one.
What?
You're not getting a cup of tea now.
I'm not getting one now. I'm too late. So, I think you have to ask yourself, though, what are you cultivating in your life? Are you cultivating peace, harmony, contentment, wellness, self-fullness? Or are you cultivating shite? And there is a scale, and we can be off at times, and you can bring your awareness to that scale that's tipping and going, I'm borderline here, there's an amber light going on, and I need to listen to that amber light. Because when that amber light's going off, we can ask ourselves, am I feeling good yet today? Do you know something? We had the wee conversation this morning, we had it last week. You weren't feeling great last week, I wasn't feeling great this morning. There was nothing wrong with me this morning. So what I done was I got the tunes on, I had my eye masks on, I was jumping about the living room. It got my energy going, it got my vibrations going, because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm innately well. But I woke up this morning feeling tired, feeling groggy. I had a curry last night that I've been trying to get a wee bit better, and that made me feel a bit worse this morning. So I could have woke up and thought, I'm really sick, I'm not well this morning. That would have been thinking.
Yeah.
Because that would have related back to past experience of feeling unwell. So your subjective view on life is always based on past experience, but it's only subjective because that's only the edges. I think I said last week about your map. That's where the edges of your map has taken you to in the past. And what about if, rather than having this map, what about if you set your destination and your journey in your life through a GPS? And when it came to a wall or it came to a stumbling block, it went, reroute and calculate, I'm going around this way. Wow. And this morning for me, that's it's as simple as that. This morning for me, that was my recalculation. My recalculation was get up here this morning, have a chat with you, feel very anxious about the chat, because I still get anxious, I still get fears, I still get worries, because they're always there. You can't stop them. But the difference is, do you cultivate them? Or do you just identify with them and go, I know why I'm feeling this morning? So ultimately, that's the difference in the scale, is how you punch that postcode into GPS or how you look at your map with those edges. They talk about in like NLP and various other elements of your compass. Your compass is your intuition, it's your inner knowing. It's the thing that guides you. But you can't listen to it or hear it if you've got a brass band playing in your mind and your inner compass is that beautiful harp player that's playing at the back of it. You need to dial everything down and identify the fact that they are just thought. And I thought the other day, when we were talking about what will we speak about today, and this was the shift in my life, this was the absolute shift in my life that made me realise that I can focus on the negative and I can identify that that's just a negative thought, but it's not my life. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think loads of people watching this, they're going to be like, like big light bulb moments, because it's true. What we think is what
we become.
It's only thought, isn't it?
It is only thought, and it's such a simple term that we overcomplicate. You know, I think I said something, was it to you guys the other day? It was about complexity is the enemy of simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
The simplicity in life is that we're guided by thought, but we don't have to listen to it. When we make that complex, we start to cultivate it, we start to water it, we start to feed it, we start to layer it. And I think, in fact, I had a really lovely thing happen to me yesterday. I've been doing loads and loads of work. In fact, if I could show you my table just now, there's books and everything across the table. But yesterday I was like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. There's just so much. My brain can't cope with it. And I had a self-doubt moment. I had a self-belief moment, as we all do. And it really has... The self-doubt moment for me maybe 2 years ago would have had me living in that self-doubt for a long, long time. The self-doubt moment is an awareness of I'm struggling or I'm stressed or I've got a lot on, but it's now not making me go, I can't do it. It's now making me go, okay, what's now and what's next? I said that to you the other week. What's now and what's next? Get this done. We spoke about the to-do list. Don't give yourself a to-do list. Give yourself a completion list. And I had lost all of those things that you preach, you know, and we all do it. You know, I'm sure a chef at times goes and buys a McDonald's as well as cooking a beautiful bit of Chateaubriand. But we live in the feeling of our thinking. And yesterday, my feeling was just tired, overworked, you know, maybe not giving myself the full time that I should, living in the grace of the moment. And that's the difference of being in the moment. There's a full process of a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you really need to look at where are you living? Because if you're living in the middle, you don't see the end and you don't see the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But if you accept the beginning as just a moment in time, well, the beginning, the middle, and the end, it's a process. The middle and the end will come as well as but the beginning's already came, and you will work through that. You know, you will come out the other side of that. The end is just as significant as what the beginning is, because the end marks the transition of you getting into another new beginning. Probably already started a new beginning, but you've just not been able to let go of that past experience. I don't know if you've ever heard of Brené Brown.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Brené Brown speaks about the call of courage, and you know, we talk about aha moments, we talk about light bulb moments. The call of courage for me was like somebody walking in front of me and pushing me over a table. It was like, and I don't mean in a sexual way, I mean throwing me flat over a table. It was like, my God, the call of courage. It's always there. It's always in you. You just need to listen to it.
And what I'm going to ask you now is like, see when people go into that way of thinking where they are so focused on an event, a comment, a message, you know, something. And we spoke about this morning, you know, last night I had a bit of a negative comment, and it really, really hurt me, like so badly. And I'm not gonna speak about it and make it a big thing and give it power, but when someone's in that state, it's very, very hard to pull yourself at the other side of it.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when something's felt so hurtful and so derogatory and so, it just completely pulls your thinking right down. What would be your advice to people who, you know, because I would imagine that many people watching this, you know, they maybe have disputes with their friends on social media or in person, and then their thinking goes somewhere else after that. So
there's a very distinct difference between thinking and feeling. You can feel hurt, you can feel upset. That's absolutely fine to feel that. But do you let that destroy everything else that's going on good around your life? You know, when you think about pain, it becomes painful. When you think about hurt, you become hurt. As equally, when you think about being happy, you become happy. You put a smile on your face, you sing, you laugh, you do the things to raise your energy. But when you think about pain, it becomes painful. So don't ever deny yourself, and don't be taken away from the fact that I'm saying to you just now, don't feel painful, don't feel hurt, don't feel upset. Feel those things. Absolutely feel those things. But identify that those are just a feeling. And see when you have a feeling like pain, hurt, somebody's done something to you, I mean, a lot of that is ego. A lot of that is ego. Because that's having an identity crisis with you almost, not about that person. I've got a greater good, so we know what your greater good is, Stephen. You know, you're sharing love, you're spreading joy, you're trying to affect as many people in such a positive way, especially throughout this time. We all know you're doing that. So let me give you a wee example, right? If you went to, if you had a party, you were organising a birthday party, right? And you invited 100 people. You send out all the 100 invitations, you've got the date set, you send out all the 100 invitations, and 70 of them come back, RSVP'd, I'll definitely be there. So what do? You go away, you book the hall, you book the party for 70 people, you book catering, you get balloons, you get the table all decorated. You're so excited because 70 people are turning up to your party. Guaranteed. The party turns up and only 30 people turn up. You give it a wee half hour. Where's another 40? I could give it another half hour. Another 40's not turned up. I'll give it another hour. 40's not turned up. But 30's still there. What do you think?
I suppose...
Don't think of the answer. Don't do a Stephen answer. What do you think?
Any normal person would think, and my mind goes straight to, there's only 30 people here. It's going to be a rubbish night.
Oh, there's 30 people there. The 30 people you love are there. The 30 people you want to be there are there. Yeah. You've organised a party with 30 of your best people are there. Or do you focus on the fact that 40 people never turned up? I'm not liked. People don't like me. Nobody likes me. I can't believe nobody turned up. But you've got 30 people there who absolutely love you. I don't know how many people's watching this morning, but every week on my videos, we've had 1,000, 1,100 people.
Yeah.
1,100 people tuning in on a Wednesday to listen to us talking shite.
It's not shite. It's good.
But that says it is good. And that says you're reaching a wider audience than one person who said one negative comment.
Yeah.
You had £1,000 in the bank, somebody stole £2. Would you give up the other £998 to go and receive the £2?
Of course you wouldn't.
No, you'd fight to keep the 998 people.
Yeah.
So that's a bad comment. And only an ego would make you go, don't you take £2 off me. I'm going to give that other £998, but I'll prove to you I'm taking that £2 back. That's a negative comment. So you can identify that your ego's been dented. You can identify that someone has gone out their way to hurt you, but you can still be okay to get through that. You can still come out the other side of that and be stronger.
I completely love the thinking behind that. You know, it's something that I suppose we should all really do more and just focus on the good stuff rather than focusing on the wee shitty bits. You know, but the wee shitty bits are the bits, I suppose, that trip us up in our daily lives, aren't they?
Absolutely. You know, why do we look forward to the big experiences when we've got lots of small experiences round about us? We've got lots of small, amazing experiences round about us, but yet we live for the big experience. And it's happening just now. Oh my God, I can't wait for a holiday. Of course we can't wait for a holiday. But you know what? You've got a great experience just now in your life to go and do things that make you a better person, make you a better version of yourself, make you enjoy your surroundings. Now, I'm fully aware that just now in life, so many people are in such horrific experiences. And that doesn't take away from the fact that such horrific experiences. I can't imagine what people are going through. I really can't imagine what some people are going through. I feel very fortunate in my life. It's been difficult for us as a couple, as financially, you know, as a craft. But all I've done is try to change my mind shift. I haven't done anything different. I'm still going through financial concerns. They're not worries, they're financial concerns. I'm still having moments of thinking, what if this continues for much longer? Am I going to lose my full-time paying job? Am I going to be able to afford to clear my debt? Am I going to be able to afford to keep the roof over my head? Now, fortunately, this time, at this present moment, the answer to that is yes. But I'm not going to live worrying about September when I'm only in February. Because right now in February, I can do these things. So I'm going to cultivate this doing until such time as it doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work, I'm going to look at changing it. Now that's everything, that's emotional, that's business, that's financial, that's all of these things. You know, we have to always think about being ahead of where we are just now. But don't forget to be good in the moment. Don't forget to be in the present moment of where you are and identify those feelings because they will be the catalyst for change. If something's causing so much upset, if something is causing so much fear and anxiety, that's a great time for you to identify that something doesn't sit right. Something doesn't feel right. So if you make that your catalyst for change, in September, my God, you could change your full projection. You could change the trajectory of your life within the next 6 months by identifying your feeling and thinking right now. So that's where the strong, we have to differentiate between having maybe an ego crisis or an identity crisis with what someone's imposed on us or what our thinking is creating. But if we look at that from another perspective, if we look at that from a feeling of going, okay, why am I feeling anxious? All right, I'm tired and blah, blah, blah. Or we look at go, why have I been feeling anxious for the last 6 months? Is it, which was for me, is it my business? Is it not fulfilling me? Am I not happy? Is it managing people? Is it financial worries? That's a difference. That's a sign. That's your inner knowing telling you that change is needed. We have 2.5 weeks. In fact, we spoke this last week, didn't we? 35,000 decisions, you told me. Did we have this conversation?
I don't know, did we?
No. So 2.5 million thoughts a day, 35,000 decisions are made on a daily basis by your mind.
Yeah.
So the rest of those, I can't even do the maths of 2.5 million thoughts take away 35,000. Out of the rest of that, 95% of those thoughts don't matter. They don't mean anything. The 5% is awareness. That's intuition, that's knowing, that's mind, that's spirit, that's your guide, whatever you want to call it. But that 5% is all you need to focus on. Not the 95% of shite, because you just create more shite.
Oh, James. That's just so amazing. It's like, it's this beautiful little ball of knowledge that we're just going poof from. I think it goes back to that thing where the phrase that I'm always fascinated by, and I suppose I can fall into that trap myself as well. What if? Instead of just living now, we always think, but what if?
So then let me turn that on its head, right? So you said this to me before. I don't know why I'm looking up here. I'm looking at a visual reference up my ceiling. But what if, rather than thinking what if, why not think, well, it's okay in the now? If we know it's okay now, we kind of know that it will be okay in the interim. We kind of know that it will be okay long term. But there's circumstances that are going to happen to us throughout our lives, whether it be financially, whether it be our health, grief. These things are out with our control. But what we can control is how we feel in the moment of those things.
Yeah.
And that changes it. Doesn't make it any less hard to lose a loved one. And I'm very fortunate both my parents are still here. But I've lost grandparents who I was very close to, who were second parents to me. And looking back, that grief was absolutely heart-wrenching. But I was also very blessed to have the people I had in my life. By grieving those people doesn't make me love them any less by being okay and getting on with my life. But what it does is it makes me realise the love that I had for those people. And it also makes me realise the love that I have for the people that's in my life right now. And that's a pretty powerful thing. It's exactly the same as giving up the £998 for the £2. £2 gone, but it doesn't change my emotional connection. It doesn't change my love for what I had. It just makes me cherish that even more.
It's such a disabling thing though, isn't it? Because people can worry so much about what if that they're causing themselves all of these problems with something that's actually imaginary, because
Absolutely.
The future it's only a prediction, or our thoughts on the future are only a prediction.
Yeah.
They're no real. The only
Absolutely.
thing that's real is living.
Yeah. I think that then, Stephen, that brings a question of going to that space, that deep space within you then, and that space that we should hang out in probably more rather than up here, that space that's in here, and ask yourself deep down, will it be okay?
Yeah.
Don't think about the answer. Let the answer come to you. An answer that comes to you is thought. You know the difference. That's not your true answer. That's thought trying to trick you, trying to keep you safe, as I said before. Thought is always trying to do one thing, which is keep you safe, but it creates unhealthy behaviours. But if you go deep inside and when we think about mind, consciousness and thought, If you go deep inside and you go into that consciousness awareness, that space that we should hang out more, as I said, and then ask yourself, will it be okay?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you'll always hear the answer is yes, or you'll be guided to the direction that will make it be okay.
Someone shared this with me many years ago, and it's actually, I think, one of the most beautiful things that I've ever read, and I use it with everybody that I work with, and that is, I'll show you that now, and it's fear. So fear is false evidence appearing real. So it's just a prediction of what might be. It isn't actually factual, is it?
Not factual at all. It's completely made up. If you can, I give you a wee description of what thinking and mind and all of these things really are, and then this is where the false evidence appearing real really comes into play. So you've got mind, as I said, right? That's your consciousness. That's your the consciousness. That's big mind, spirit, whatever you believe, God. You know, all of these things. So you imagine a cinema, and it's like a projection.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind is the projection screen. It comes from nowhere. It's always there. It's always projecting. It's always putting out that light. But it's just light, just disperses. You then bring in consciousness. So your awareness. We've all heard the term ignorance is bliss. You don't know what you don't know. It's not always good. You put that screen up in front of the projector. Well, it hits light. It starts to absorb that light. All thought is the movie that it's playing. It's not real. You go and see a scary movie in the cinema, that big screen, and it's overwhelmingly terrifying. You watch that same movie on your phone, it's not really quite so scary. Because you've got other factors around about you that are real, that are having an impact on you in that moment. But you can take that movie and you can be terrified for the rest of your days and keep playing that movie in that big screen over and over and over. Even though you know it's just a scary movie. It's not real. How many times have you watched a movie or a programme where you thought it was a true story, and then you then find out that wasn't a true story? You don't go back to how you thought it was before. It changes your perception of what that programme was there. That's the same about thought. When you realise that it's not true, when you realise that it's made up, you can't change it. But you can change your perception on it. And you can change your perception on it in an instant. I said it last week. Change your thought, change your life. Change your language, change your life. And change it in an instant. You're only ever one thought away from changing your entire existence.
It's funny because, you know, our thoughts, you know, we always have these preconceived ideas of things, don't we? You know, and I suppose, you know, for instance, some people might view, you know, skydiving as, oh my God, that's terrifying because of what they've seen. When actually, when you just experience it, the whole experience,
Experience of your life.
yeah, it's nothing compared to what you think.
Absolutely.
So I suppose it's like anything that we put ourselves into, it's always our thinking or our fear of it. And then
well, again, it's our map. That's the biggest thing, and that our map has, like I said before, has edges. Those edges are your predefined past experience. So you can't venture past that because it's uncharted territory. You don't know what's past that. But if you get rid of that map and you use that compass, it will always guide you to true north. It will always keep you safe. And it will let you realise that a skydive is a really exhilarating thing. With anything comes risk. Anything in life comes risk. Walking out your door in the morning comes risk. Jumping out a plane comes with maybe a bigger risk. But let me tell you, it's the most exhilarating experience of your life.
Yeah. I was 2 years ago. I was working with a lovely lady who she was at the end of life, so she had weeks to live, and she just came into the shop because she just wanted to just sit in the energy, just feel at peace. And she'd came in and she'd said to me, she was like, "So Stephen, you know, I've got kidney failure. She's passed now as well. I've got kidney failure and I'm dying. I just want to come in. I just want to sit here and I just want to be around people. And I was like, that's amazing. Come in, have a seat, let's chat. So she was chatting to me all about, and she was a regular customer, like we knew her very well. And she was chatting to me all about her life and, you know, how she wished she had done things really different. And I'd said to her, so what is it that you wish you'd done different? And she was like, I just wished I'd stopped worrying about all of the small, stupid stuff that never really happened. And she was only like 58. You know, she wasn't an old woman, but she says, I've spent my whole life in this state of worry and fear about many things that just didn't happen. And now I'm faced with my own mortality. I feel this sense of relief. I feel this, you know, I've spent my whole life worrying about dying, and now that it's actually happening, I'm not worried.
My God, Stephen, that's heart-wrenching, but
Yeah,
also very beautiful at the same time.
I think she really taught me a big lesson because see at the time, you know, we'd just opened the business, and I'd known her for a few years before that, but we just opened the business, and I'd sat there and I was saying to her, you know, just a bit worried, you know, it's new business and oh my god, and can we afford to do this and can we afford to pay the bills and blah blah blah. And she was like, listen, hold on a minute. And she told me all her stuff, and it just put it into perspective for me that actually, you know, let's stop worrying about.
You can't afford not to.
Say that again.
You can't afford not to.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I think ultimately that's it, isn't it? You hear that story and you think, well, you know, you let go of all of that fear of thought, and all you're left with is love, enjoyment, creativity, excitement, a passion for living. All of those things that we give up to focus on fear and worry and anxiety and overthinking and stress.
She said to me as well, she says, see, for the very first time in my whole life, I now understand what mindfulness is. She says, it's not some kind of spiritual thing. She said, mindfulness is just being mindful of all of the things that we've got. She says, I wake up in the morning and I'm grateful to be here still. I have my cup of tea in the morning and I can smell it and I can taste it and I feel the cup beneath my fingers. So, like, you know, these experiences, I suppose, that we all take for granted because we're so focused on worrying about what if. We need to get right back into the moment, don't we? You know, and just focus on what's real and what's in front of us. You know, I've got a cup. There's people in the world that they have a cup. They have to drink out a dirty bucket. You know.
Yeah, what do we focus on, Stephen? We focus on what the cup looks like. Is the cup expensive?
Yeah.
Have I got a better cup than somebody else? Or I've not got a better cup than somebody else. I need to put myself into debt to get a better cup. We all do it with many aspects of it. And that's fine because you can still enjoy beautiful things. You can still enjoy nice things. But you don't put the value on them that can be lost at any point. Put the value on the things that once they're lost can never be brought back.
Yeah, because having beautiful things is a good thing, you know. It's like
I love beautiful things. I'm like the most kinesthetic person in the world, as you'll know, because all I do is use my hands. But I just love buying shite. And Kenny will go, yes, he loves buying shite. I love it. But I love it because I enjoy it. I love it because I enjoy doing home things. I enjoy decorating. I like looking at nice things. But I don't have any emotional attachment to them. If I lost them, I would be hurt. I would be upset. I would be sad. But I know I'll get them back.
yeah.
In some way. You know, I know that can rebuild my life tomorrow. I know that can change my life today, this instance, this morning. We done it before we came on this call because we just changed our thought.
Absolutely.
There's a great wee saying, and it's like, wait, I don't know if I can remember it right. And you might not even get it right because I always think, I imagine things in my mind and I go, I don't know if people get what I'm saying. First there is the mountain, then there is no mountain. Sorry, first there is the mountain.
Yeah.
Then there is no mountain. Then there is. That's it.
I don't get
So there's the mountain that you cannot get over. You can't accomplish it.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top of the mountain and you've accomplished it. And then there just is. The mountain was never the problem. You were the problem. Your thinking of the mountain was the problem. When you've accomplished it, there was no mountain there. It was just a climb. Then there is, and I think that's a really important thing to understand, that all there is.
Yeah. There's that. What is it they say that right now in life we are all we ever were, all we ever will be, all we ever are gonna be right now.
Right now.
Right now is the only time when we have true power, you know.
Yeah, so you can worry about that future element. You can worry about all that's yet to come, or you can succumb to the fact that I'm in this moment, I'm in this thought, I'm in this state of mind, and I can change it.
Yeah. I have to say, James, that see from last week, speaking to Kenny and then speaking to you, I've made some brilliant changes, and changes with my own personal health, because I know that I need to lose weight, right? But it's not a need to lose weight now. What it is now is I want to feel better in my clothes. I want to feel better in my own skin. I want to feel better by the energy that I'm putting into my body. And this week I've had 5 days now where I've been eating foods that are lower in calories. So I've been trying to be in a calorie deficit so that then I'll lose weight, the science part of it. But what I'm not fixated on is the whole day. I'm only fixated on this moment. So, I've had days where I've ate shite, right? For 1 minute of the day or for 5 minutes of the day. But that shite hasn't defined the rest of my day. So, I've had the shite, it's done, it's dusted.
Yep.
What's next? And that I've been living very much like that for the last 5 days. And it's almost rewired my whole thinking around everything. Because before I was so focused on the goal, the end goal, and where I was going. Whereas now I'm just focused on making little changes, little choices, different decisions. And I feel really empowered by it.
Remember last week we spoke about the state, the story, and the strategy?
Yeah.
So you focused on the most important part of that, which was the story. You change the story, you change your state, strategy figures itself out.
Yeah.
So instantly, that's key. Because if you start focusing on the strategy of, okay, great word, I need to lose weight rather than I want to be healthy. So I need to lose weight comes with a past experience, comes with a predefined idea of, in the past, I've needed to lose weight and it's failed. I'm going to fail. There's your story. I've needed to do it and I've failed. That's your story. Your state has gone from a 5 or 6 of wanting to lose weight to needing to lose weight down to a 2. Up to an 8 or 10 or whatever the end of the spectrum you want to go, to a negative part, down to a 2. You change your story, change your state, strategy figures itself out. The how will always figure itself out when you have a compelling story of why you want to do anything in life, Stephen.
Honestly, it changed my whole thinking. It really, really did. And then every single day I've been productive in my work as well, because I've had instead of having a to-do list, I've had a completion list. So green highlighter. Oh, you can't see it because of my green screen. Pretend that's a green highlighter. Green highlighter. And what I've been doing is green, complete the whole day. And then I get to the end of my day and I'm like, wow, my completion list is done.
It's amazing.
By lots of little moments and now, rather than thinking about, oh my God, I've got this to do at 4 o'clock. I'm thinking, right, what's next? That's done, it's complete, what's next?
Think about all of the amazing things, how you've changed so much in the last week. compared to that one bad experience you had yesterday.
Exactly.
Is it worth giving all of that up for that one bad experience?
No.
Did it change any of that going before it?
Say that again?
Did it change any of the experience that's gone before it?
No.
No. So you've got to allow that to change everything else that's about to come.
Definitely not.
There you go. That's the difference with changing your thought and changing your life.
Yeah. And see, so I'm on a roll right now,
Right.
and I'm feeling like, wow, this is great. And I'm already doing it. I'm falling into the what if trap, right? What if? I'm answering my own question. I'm just going to shut up.
Do it.
But what if I fall back into old habits? You know,
start again like that.
It's crazy, isn't it? How our minds just go and like, what if?
We're conditioned, Stephen, to believe that if you fall off your diet, you give it all up. Everything else has gone by the wayside. If you leave a job, that was a waste of 10 years. If you split up with your partner, that was a waste of the last 7 years. How was that a waste of the last 7 years in a bad relationship? I had not a great relationship prior to Kenny. What that bad relationship has taught me how good a relationship can be and should be. And my life has never been so good. Not because I have somebody in it who I dearly love, but because I appreciate the relationship that I have. So I cannot give up what I have now for what I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot give up all of your good eating habits, all of your good mindset, because you have one bad day of eating shite. And if it can be one bad day, it doesn't need to be 5 minutes, it can be one bad day. And I felt like I ate about 8,000 calories yesterday. And I've been off cheese and dairy and stuff like that. And I actually didn't tell you that I did have cheese yesterday. I had mozzarella. And I think that is why I feel so bad today. No for guilt, but because I realised what it had done for me. Or what it does to me, what it does to me. So this morning I've had my 2 glasses of lemon water. Oh, he's hung up me. I've had my 2 glasses, I'm going to keep talking to you anyway. I had my 2 glasses of lemon water. I'm on my 2.5 litres of water again. I'm going to fast till 12 o'clock today. And I'm trying to do the things that make me better. Did you hear any of that?
I missed a bit.
I thought you'd get bored and went to get a packet of custard creams.
I heard you saying that you were going to, you woke up and you were going to eat, and that was it.
So I decided that having that bad day yesterday, that I woke up this morning and I wasn't going to be defined by my day yesterday. I was getting back onto where I had been. I'm off dairy again. I've had my 2 glasses of lemon water this morning. If any of you don't do glasses of lemon water in the morning, you need to do it. You need to do 2 glasses of lemon. It's like the best thing ever. And I'm now back onto my big, huge jug of water. I'm going to fast till 12 o'clock today. And I'm just going to get back into my eating sensible, being sensible in my choices.
Mm-hmm. See, to add value to that, do you like cucumber? See, lemon and cucumber water. Wow, so good.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. So you know you can instantly make. Can I read something to you actually?
Go for it.
This is a great book. Somebody Should Have Told Us by Jack Pransky. He kind of writes so much about the 3 principles of mind, consciousness, and thought. But last night I was sitting reading this, and there was a wee part that popped out to me. And our thinking is our experience of life. Our thinking is our life.
Deep.
That's quite poignant. It's quite deep.
Yeah. Our thinking really is our life, isn't it?
It's everything.
I think we said this last week. Our thought. I'm not even going to go there.
We say the word thought and thinking too many times in these conversations.
I know. Was it our thought creates it. Our action builds its momentum.
Yep.
I can't remember what it is, but you know, it's our thought, our thinking, everything in our reality comes from that first thought of where we want to be.
It is our thought impacts our feelings, which impacts our actions, which shape the world around us, which shape the environment around us.
Yeah.
Change that start changes the end goal.
everybody sitting watching this, when you look around your room, everything that you see is all a result of your thought.
Yeah.
Quite a powerful thing, James, you know.
Well, you don't know where it comes from, Stephen. It comes from somewhere. Mind comes from somewhere. We don't know the source of it. We don't need to know the source of it. We just need to be aware that it's there.
Yeah.
You know, everything, this conversation between you and I started as a thought. This phone that we're talking on started as a thought. So everything's created from somewhere, but we don't need to dissect the thought.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to appreciate the conversation. We just need to appreciate the phone, the ability. Like you said, all the things around about us, they all started from somewhere. We don't focus on that. We focus on the enjoyment of what it is.
Amazing. Absolute. Honestly, James, I could sit here and speak to you all day. Right. See when we can actually like meet in person for a coffee or a tea. It's going to be a
I'll
long.
let you book a hotel in Edinburgh. I think I don't mean for anything dirty. I mean
a few hours. So we'll come to the question. Say that again. We spoke at the same time.
Oh, sorry. It's fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
So we're going to go to questions. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Because I'm looking at the time and that's like 20 past 10 already. The hell. So you have got Lisa saying there, how do you retrain your mind to be more positive?
Lisa, do more positive things. I said it last week. If you want more energy, do more things that make you energized. Stephen says a great thing earlier on about not having to do it, but wanting to do it. Do things that uplift you. This morning, before I come on here, one of my music for me is a big thing. So I think, you know, if you get a good tune on that energizes you, my song is always Pink, I Am Here, because my big thing and my big fear in life is about not leaving a legacy of some sort, not impacting people in some way. And that's not an ego. That is really coming true from the heart, that I want to help people. I want to serve people. So I think if you want to be positive, you need to do things that make you feel good. Positivity is an absolute state of mind. There's a guy who, Stuart, I do a lot of breathwork stuff as well. And Stuart is from the Breath Pod. If any of you don't follow him, go on and follow him. He's really quite inspiring. He's lovely. He's actually from Glasgow, but he's based in London. And he said something that really hit me. He lost his girlfriend. He's younger than me. He lost his girlfriend to cancer. And he thought he would never smile again. He would never laugh again. And what he started to do was retrain himself when he was in the car to just smile and laugh. Now that starts to recreate new neural pathways. It sends signals to your brain to go, as soon as you smile, do it just now, you smile, you instantly feel something. Something changes. Even if it's false. Do you know, it has an energy related to it and it instantly changes. So what I would say is if you feel you need to feel more positive, you're already positive. You've already started that chain because you're thinking you need to be more positive. That's a positive thought. That's a positive thought of change. So focus on that and cultivate that. Look at music, look at things. I am a big Real Housewives fan, right? I sit and watch Real Housewives, all to anybody's dismay. But it's my escapism. It's a bit of, I don't get caught up in it. I just like it because there's a bit of drama through it. There's a bit of style, there's a bit of fashion, there's all of these luxury lovelies to it. But if I was to sit and watch that 12 or 14 hours of the day, that would change my state of mind massively. Because one, it would make me not appreciate anything that I have. That amount of bitchiness, that transcendental vocabulary that they use where you're a bitch and you're this and you're that and you're the next thing, that's not good. That doesn't change. That doesn't keep for a positive state. So think about the language that you use. Do you use positive words? Do you use words like, I feel fantastic, I feel amazing, I feel great? And that's not sitting there looking at yourself in the mirror. That works massively because, again, you're retraining your brain to work with these positive affirmations. But think about your wording that you use. If your partner comes in, how are you greeting them? Are you going, oh, hiya? It's not positive. Hello, honey. Hi, baby. Hi, sugar puff. Whatever you want it to be, make life fun by your choice of words because that changes your state massively. And then you start to find things, you start to attract things in your life that just make you feel a wee bit more positive. Doesn't need to be life altering. The smallest thing will make the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, my wife says that to me. She's like, see, the reason I am managing my life is because I've got you. And honestly, like she comes in for work and I'm like, hello, how are you? Like, I'll pick her up and in the morning I put the radio on and, you know, like, or I put Alexa on and I'm like, right, come on Alexa, play it. This morning it was Waka Waka by Shakira. So I'm in the kitchen like, Waka Waka, hey, hey. And she's like, honestly.
Stephen, you know, I am actually not naturally that way. That takes a lot of work for me to be that way. I used to be that way and I really lost my sense of who I was. And I'm trying so hard to get that back. But in trying, it's making me feel good. So it's making me want to do it more, not needing to do it. It's making me want to do it. I am very fortunate. I have a you in my house as well. Kenny is the most positive, uplifting energy in the world. And he's like that. So that does bounce off me. But the old me used to get pissed off for that. Because I want to feel positive. I want to feel energized. I want to be that person. It was always there. I just had to unleash it. I just had to start doing things to make me feel more positive and more energized. It's very simple. Very simple. To change something, you just have to change it.
And I have to say, like, if you've not heard it, go and stick it into YouTube or ask Alexa to play it. And that Pink's song, I Am Here, is
my God,
one of the most amazing, inspiring songs that you've ever heard in your life, because it's very much about, I'm in the present moment. I'm here.
Do you know what? See, put an attachment to songs. So see that song for a visualization for me. That is a song that I am going to have in front of 200, 300, 500 people doing seminars like this.
Yeah.
Having conversations with massive amounts of people. That is my song that I know will play when I'm on that stage.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Associate it and hang on to that. Thank you, Lisa.
I'll be in the audience cheering you on as well. James! The Scottish Tony Robbins, you'll be. I've totally lost my train of thought there as well. What was it? Comments, sorry.
We've only got 6 minutes. This is like countdown.
So we actually don't have many comments, just lots of people saying, you know, thank you so much for this. Needed to hear this today. Thanks for sharing this. Very much appreciated. Joanne saying Wednesday mornings are my favourite day of the week. I could listen to you both all day.
Woo, Joanna. Sorry.
Teresa is saying life is what happens when we are busy making plans.
Absolutely. So don't let it pass us by.
Vaughn is saying, that's what I do. I highlight when things need to be done. Tick once it's completed. It's a good feeling when it's done.
Totally.
Brilliant. Gina is saying, warm water and lemon in the morning is amazing for my digestive system. It does make you poo as well, so you need to be really careful.
Yes, don't leave the house within the first maybe 20 or 30 minutes of having.
Do you know, I'm not going to talk about my bowel movements, but I tried warm water and lemon, right, before I went out for a run about 5 years ago, and I'll never
check yourself.
Oh, I need to get back home.
I bet you that made you sprint home, that's for sure.
Kelly, it always goes by quickly with you too. Thank you, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly.
Teresa, there is no such a thing as a bad day, just some days are better than others. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lorna is saying, I took your advice last week, James, and stood telling myself the mirror positive affirmations before an important meeting. Yes!
Brilliant, Lorna. Amazing. Keep doing them every day. Don't just do it before a meeting. Do it every single day, because that change. Lorna has, oh my God, she's so inspiring. She's one of Kenny's clients. She has transformed her body beyond belief. She is, and actually I messaged her the other day to say, tell me what you're doing. Tell me how you're doing it, and tell me what changed. That's a really important thing in life. See, if you see somebody that you think they're doing really amazing, ask them what they're doing. Ask them how they've done it. Captivate that person and embody them. Don't change who you are, but embody what they're doing, because there's a guarantee that everything that they're doing comes from a strategy. If you can work out that strategy, you can change your story. You've got a great state of mind. My God, you're shaping your life to be something truly spectacular.
Amazing. I love that. And cultivate other people's success, I suppose, without without becoming them. You know, because that's a bit scary. You don't want to become people.
You don't want to become, because that's maybe a psychological issue there. But you know, absolutely, I think we need to look to the people who inspire us and find out how they've done it. Don't stand there giving them a side eye trying to copy them. Ask them how they've done it. Give them the credit to say, you've done an amazing job. Can you tell me what shifted, what changed in your life? And then implement it in your life. You're not replacing you, because let me tell you, every one of us are innately well. And when I say innately well, inside you is good. Inside you is amazing. There's nothing wrong with you other than your thinking. It's exactly what I said earlier on. What if the only thing that's wrong with you is that you thought there was something wrong with you? And let me tell you, there ain't shit wrong with you. We are incredible beings with a computer that is beyond our comprehension. Beyond our comprehension. We just need to find the user manual for it, and the user manual is right in here. Start asking yourself how it works. You ask Siri to search things on Google, ask your intuition to give you your answer, and it will happen.
Stephen. Will James come on next week, even though he said he's no? I'm joking.
I want to change it now. I'm going to make him back next week.
Another one is, it's, you know, I've shared this with all of my guys. Robbie Williams, don't know if of course you've heard the song. Robbie Williams, I Love My Life. That is a song full of positive affirmations the whole way through. I love my life. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am free.
I don't think I've heard this.
James, where have you been?
Alexa's going to be playing this in a minute for me. I have not heard this.
So Robbie Williams, I Love My Life. And it's just a song full of affirmations. I do it with all my law of attraction classes, and I get people really to believe the words. You know, I love my life. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am magical. I am me. So,
love your life, and I am here. There you go. There's 2 songs to play every day.
Yeah.
Raise your vibrations.
Gina doesn't for me. I think she's talking about the warm lemon water.
Oh, look at you, Gina. I'm not even going to say
it. And Kelly saying, please do, James, come back next week. So James is going to be here. James, I'm just going to ask you live on camera to commit to it, but are you happy to go right through February too?
Absolutely, yes.
Because we're all locked down for February as well, so we might as well. So James isn't here next week because he's taking his mum and dad for a COVID vaccine.
Yeah, my mum and dad are going to get a COVID injection next week. I am beyond excited for them.
So that's really important. So James needs to be there for his parents. We could actually shift the time. We could maybe move the surgery to later if you wanted to do that.
Really?
Yeah. We could have you on at night, 7 o'clock instead of.
I can't do night 7, Stephen. I've got a live with the group that I'm in, the apprentice group that I do.
You can reschedule them and just come on at 7 with us.
Let me confirm this today, because I don't want to lose it. I want to keep my Wednesday slot. I do enjoy it.
You will keep your Wednesday slot. We're not going to kick you out just for 1 week.
We could have a replacement for next Wednesday.
Say that again?
We could have a good replacement for next Wednesday.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So James's friend Nicola. So I'm going to send Nicola a wee message. See if Nicola will come on. So she's just going to pretend she's James for the day then, yeah? No, she's
might like her more than me though. I don't know if I'm wanting to put that out there. my ego has now been affected.
Not at all. I'm sure it's nice to get other people's perspectives on things as well, though, isn't it? So
Nicola and I work in exactly the same way, and where I am like, she's like, she's calm and serene, and she has the most beautiful way of articulating things. She's also from Northern Ireland and has the most soothing voice ever. But she does a lot of like.
Yeah, I'm sold. Like, I'm sorry, James.
That's me, I'm out.
We'll see you September time.
You watch it, boy.
The Irish accent just gets me every time. I'm really sorry, James, but you've lost your Wednesday spot.
Guys, get voting now. Get me back by popular demand.
So that's us at time as well. Would you believe? Mental, crazy, but that's what happens when you're having fun. The time just passes by really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So, for anybody who is interested, tomorrow on the Soul Man Surgery, I do not have a clue who we have because I don't have my notes in front of me, so I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is tonight we have got an extra Soul Man Surgery at 7:30, I think. I need to double check that as well.
I would maybe get this on your Facebook today, Stephen, to confirm.
It's so bad. But we've got an extra Soul Man Surgery tonight. I believe it's 7, and it is by the wonderful author Emma Lavin. And Emma has a book out, The Little Book of I Ams, and it's all around empowering children. So Emma's going to be on tonight talking all about The Little Book of I Ams. And she's more commonly known as Little Miss Mindset. So she's a wonderful girl. She's one of my meditation teachers as well. So she's out there and delivering meditation to people who really need it. So I am really, really proud of Emma, but equally, Little Miss Mindset, her business is amazing. And equally so is her book, The Little Book of I Ams. So you can actually purchase it on Amazon. I think it's about £5. She's going to be speaking tonight all about the Little Book of I Ams, which is really cool. Don't you agree, James?
Amazing. What a lovely Wednesday to have listened to you and I talk shite and then have the Little Book of I Ams.
I know she'll come on really serious and she'll be talking about all this, and then we're talking about shite and bowel movements, and
we're keeping it real, Stephen. We're keeping it real.
Absolutely. So James, thank you so much. Obviously, we won't see you next Wednesday, but we'll most definitely see you the Wednesday after.
Definitely.
Thank you. That was a brilliant surgery today.
Thank you.
And just in case you missed it, guys, Pink, I Am Here, and Robbie Williams, I Love My Life. Go listen to them and change your vibration. James, from all of us,
thank you, Stephen.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, see you all later, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.
Be strong. Strong.